Our next speaker is from Norway, Petter Hellevik, CEO of ZIZR, and they use fit feedback loops to enable you to get personalized fit recommendations online.
Thank you. Yeah, we do that among other things. And it feels wonderful, I have to tell you, to know that I stand between you and your break, your coffee. Hope there's not any smokers in here. But I have only 8 minutes, so this will be quick. And having only 8 minutes means I have to prioritize pretty hard on what topics to cover. There are so many things about ZIZR that I would love to tell you about. But these slides had to be ready by Friday last week. And Friday happened to be, and when recognized today, it was the International Women's Day. And for me, a guy living together with 3 women, that day does not go by unrecognized, I can tell you that. So that kind of set the tone for my theme on sizing today. And I almost launched an Instagram campaign that Friday that were to say, stop asking, and please do not feel offended, stop asking my daughters about their weight and body shape. Because my daughters, they are 16 and 19, they have grown up in a world and they have grown accustomed to a world where online shopping for clothing equals answering questions basically about what they do not like about themselves, about their complexes. And that's how a technical development guy like me kind of fell into the rabbit hole of sizing, because I thought there has to be a better way of doing this. And how is ZIZR different? What have we done to solve this sizing? How can I give you the right size recommendation without asking you these questions? And if you look at it from a statistical point of view, an average point of view, because that's what you do. If you tell me your height and your weight, I can calculate your BMI. And if you also tell me your age, I can correct it further. Or if you send me some pictures, that's fine. Maybe I can work on that. And as a tech father, I always tell my girls, do not upload photos of yourself without clothing to those services. Please don't do that. But from an average point of view, obviously some of the recommendations will be right. But the problem is that average is a statistical term, it's a mathematical term. It's used to describe data. It's not used to it's not supposed to be used to describe people. Because none of you are average. People are not average. I'm not average. I'm shy of 180 high, so you can say kind of average, but I have negative ape index. I have very short arms. They're not like T-Rex arms, but they're shorter than they're supposed to be. It took me years to find this manufacturer of shirt that actually I can go off the rack and buy shirts from. So basically in the middle there, you can say that we have all these solutions that, yes, eventually they will give you the right size recommendation, but most of the time they will not. And it doesn't help me that they are 70% accurate. They need to be above 90 at least for me to trust them. And so basically the size recommendation will be wrong. Because if you are a computer and you know my height and you know my weight, but I ask you as a computer for a personal size recommendations for let's say a formal shirt, you have a problem, knowing that I have a short upper body. So the size recommendation will be wrong. And let's just pause there for a minute, because what's actually a wrong and a right size recommendation? Here the other day I said to my 19-year-old daughter that I can mathematically prove that I can give you right size recommendations for jeans. And she, yeah, right. How are you going to do that? And you're thinking the same thing, right? Without asking you a lot of questions, how would I do that? And I said, that's fairly easy from a mathematical point of view. If I give you a recommendation, say 2632, and you are able to pull them on, zip it, close the button, and they don't fall off, you have the right size recommendation. And she said, yeah. And everyone knows that, because it's all about how she feels. It's all about how that size makes her feel. And that might be a right size recommendation for her, but for her friend, that looks quite similar, it might be the wrong size recommendation because she prefers a wider fit. So back to this, we can all agree that average is not the way to go ahead solving sizing. So that's why we have in our mission that respectful sizing for everyone, among other things. When we started working on ZIZR several years ago, we asked hundreds of end users things about sizing. They literally said the same thing, everyone. Basically this. And everything from, depending on the situation, I prefer different fittings. I can gain, I can lose weight. My body shape changes over time. I don't like intrusive personal questions about my weight, etc., etc. And even more important to us, I don't want to be put into gender brackets, or I don't want to start over every time I visit an online store. So obviously we have a different approach, I might say a very different approach. So enter ZIZR ID, and solving sizing is just one part of the equation. The other part of the equation is, and I very much agree with the former speaker here, that we need to take that experience from the physical store and implement it into the online store. Because to me, fashion as an industry exists because it is supposed to make people feel good. That's why fashion is around and makes us able to express ourselves. So that means that when Kim, in this instance, comes into my online store, I would say, "Hi Kim, you would look great in a US4." Instead of saying, "Hi Kim, welcome to my store. How much do we weigh today?" Or, "Hi Kim, could you please send me some nude photos? I would love that." You would never do that in a physical store. And moving on, how do we know that Kim would love a size US4 without asking her all these questions? And how do we know that she prefers on her blazers a snug fit? How do we know all that? Or Siri, and this is my wife actually, I'm married to Siri. That's annoying when Apple called their personal assistant Siri as well, but leave that for later. How do we know that she is actually a size IT 36 in boots? And as an avid marathon runner, she prefers her running shoes in size 38, IT 38. Because it varies, right? This is actually live. This is from a POC we're doing with NAP at these days. We are tested in UK, US, Hong Kong, and Deutschland. What's that? In German, that's called. Really cool. So here what it looks like. And what we do is we collect fit data. So when we integrate into the stores, all your online purchases are added to your personal profile. You can, if you like, go in and say, "Yeah, that fits perfectly, but..." There's always a but, right? So you can tailor your personal fit preferences. Technical slide at the end. Yes, it works. It's had been tested, has been proven. Not too much work for you guys. AI works for us. It works for you. So we have integrated some of the largest online stores in the world in less than 48 hours. Please get your mobile phones up, scan that QR code, because everyone knows how does it work. That takes you to my and my lovely colleague Ruben's calendars. Please book a meeting with us, and we would love to chat with you about how ZIZR works. Thank you.